We're highlighting three local businesses today. And the next person I'd like to introduce is Paul Haggath from Symposium Coffee Shop. Paul has been quite long established in Peterhead and is now looking to expand the number of outlets throughout the northeast. So if we can cut across to Paul, please.
Hi, how are you all doing? Hope you're all good. It's really good to be here today and get this opportunity to speak about Peterhead and the business opportunities that we have. I actually moved to Peterhead when I was 8 years old. My parents used to move often, and this was the last place they ever moved. My wife Wendy, who's co-owner of Symposium, is Peterhead born and bred. So I grew up through primary school and the academy here. At 16, left school without an idea of what I wanted to do. I was always drawn towards people. I liked people. I liked to be hospitable. I did work in local hotels here in Peterhead, but the hours were long and they were very unsociable. So it was my idea to create a place where people would enjoy to work, be able to give that hospitality, but also be able to enjoy, being off on Christmas Day and in the evenings. So the whole idea started, I ran a little coffee shop and just in a porter cabin. And the idea was I came up with the name Symposium. It was always the idea that this business wasn't going to be just to create a job for myself, but it was to create coffee houses where people in the local community could come and spend time. People also in the local community could find jobs and jobs they enjoy. And so our first shop opened back in Peterhead in Broad Street back in May 2005. It doesn't seem that long ago, but at the same time seems like a different lifetime ago. We've recently made a little time story of how our business has developed over the years, and they're going to be available in our shops on the walls. And it's a really interesting to read, to see. It encourages both Wendy and myself as well to look back at where we started and where we are to date. Like I said, we opened originally on Broad Street in a very small shop in 35 Broad Street. It's now the e-cigarette shop. And after 3 years, we saw that the business was growing, and we found premises on Queen Street, where the main street seemed busier. There was a vacant building, previously being a hairdresser. So my wife and I, we went in there in October 2008, and that's where the business started to grow. We've traded there, like I say, since 2008, and on the back of that, it was not until 2011 that we got our second location in Ellen. We've now been there for 9 years, and it's interesting because in Peterhead, when we did start in the smaller shop, because business was expanding, we were able to then move to bigger premises. And on the back of that being successful, when we moved into Ellen, we were able to do that within a quite close radius of our hometown, which meant people were already aware of the brand and what we had to offer. So in Ellen, we were there for 7 years, and then again, we relocated to bigger premises. We've done the same in Fraserburgh. Just to give you an outline, we've now got 8 locations 7 locations in Aberdeenshire, 1 in the city, and we're away to open up in Moray, in Elgin. So the business in Fraserburgh, we did the same thing. We opened up in a location, and then on the back of that success, we were able to open up into a more prominent location. So basically, all this idea of us starting business, we in Peterhead, we had such great support because I'd been brought up through church, so had my wife. So we were always in groups of large community. When I worked in hospitality, obviously at a wedding, there was 200 people at every wedding. So I think over the years, we were both in contact with lots of people. And I think that really helped when we were opening our own local town, that people already knew us, and the support has been unbelievable. It's not all been easy. We've had some locations that have opened and been very good, and then those terms have come to an end, and we've had to stop trade there. And then there's been other properties we've been in where business hasn't been so good, and we've had to make the decision to close. It was in Peterhead Marshall Drummers Corner where I got a job when I was 16, and I worked at Global Video Shop. And so that was a long time ago, but there at the Global Video Shop, I met loads of people as well. And I was always just drawn to like making people just hoping they had a good day, you know? And then I worked in the local Palace Hotel. And then it was later on, I started working at Gateway, which is now Asda. And as it happens to be, I got a phone call just a few years ago, and it was from one of the managers at Asda, who was my manager at the Global Video Shop when I was 16, saying Asda would like a meeting to discuss opening a symposium in Peterhead. So 3 years ago, I had a stroke. So there was a year where I was kind of out of the game. And then a year later, I had heart surgery, but I'm on the mend now. It's almost 3 years ago since that. This opportunity came up for Asda in Peterhead, and I really based that back again into, you know, the local town here in Peterhead, the support that you get. And that's somebody who didn't even need to mention me, my wife, or our business symposium at all. But just through the years of being in the town, being involved in the town, gave us that position where we could even just be approached by Asda to open a coffee shop. Like I say, not everything is easy or as simple as it looks. We do employ just now about 45 people. We have a mortgage on one property in Queen Street. The rest are all leased. So as you can imagine, Asda, we only opened the doors in February, and it was 6 weeks after that that COVID hit. So during the time when I was off work after the stroke, I took the opportunity to look at better till operating systems. We introduced new till operating systems so I could view everything from home, work from the office here. And I was able to basically get to grips on what was going on in the business rather than just getting reports on bits of paper. It was also during that time that we looked at our website and we started developing that. I also introduced a roastery here in Black Hills Peterhead where we roast our own coffee. And the COVID thing, although it's absolutely devastating and it's a really hard challenge, the local council have been very supportive, helped us through, getting emotional on that one. And it's been absolutely a blessing for us. What happened when COVID happened, we shut all sites. We didn't know at the time what was going to happen. We put all 45 people on furlough that we were able to organise, make shift, and decide how we were going to operate our business going forward. First thing I did is I went to the roastery. I started roasting as much coffee as I could, and our website sales started soaring. We were able to send coffee throughout the UK, and that was really just a lifeline to us. I think some people were just buying coffee locally to support us, you know, because we'd been in the town for 15 years. But business has grown on that side. Again, I'd been out of work as far as being behind the coffee machines for about 3 years. But I've got Wendy and I have 4 girls, a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 16-year-old, 19-year-old. So after the 10 days, because we had the opportunity with Asda, what we decided to do was go into the store there, and me and my 2 girls basically just worked every day, and we were supplying coffee for the town. And again, even though we were just working from one site, we have 3 sites in Peterhead. We're on Queen Street. We're also in the Maritime Scottish Academy for Nescall, and we're also in Asda. So me and my 2 girls, we worked every day from the shop, and we were really busy, and we were putting out coffee to the whole of Peterhead. It did take maybe another, I think it was 16 weeks, and then we opened 2 more stores up in Fraserburgh and Ellen. And then during lockdown, we also had 4 leases coming to an end, and we had to make a big decision, you know, to either stop those leases or renew those leases. And again, with the support of the council and the bounce back loans that were introduced, we were able to sustain. We were able to sign those leases and continue. And this month, we're actually set to open up in Asda and Elgin. So it's been really, really exciting. It's a great place to live. It's a great place to work. All my girls are here in Peterhead. In fact, my whole family, after moving up here all those years ago, are all still here. It's a great town to be in. It's very, very supportive, and I can't say anything bad about it. It has been a very challenging year, but at the same time, the support that the local council and the local community have shown towards our business has been excellent. I think that's everything I'm going to say. It's a great place to invest. There are shops vacant, but you know, they're there for the opportunities. And I think if you choose the right opportunity and you have the vision of where you want that business to go, anything's possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul. A great advert for, you know, a local entrepreneur, determined and enthusiastic, as you see there. Somebody who's actually gone out and created a brand, local brand over that 15 years. It's great to hear your story today.